Steady, and that's it, they're away. 16 fences to be jumped this time. Our fun. Very promising. And all safely over the first. Our fun, Wiley Yeoman, very promising. And Mr. Moonraker as they come to the second and going a real good clip. Our fun from very promising Wiley Yeoman, Mr. Moonraker. A little gap then to Ihaventalight, and they're racing now towards the first of the ditches. Very promising on the inside, going to land in the lead from Our Fun on the far side, then Mr. Moonraker. Behind them come Wiley Yeoman, then Ihaventalight and Von Trapp and New Life Connection and Arapaho Prince. Very promising over the fourth in the lead from Our Fun and Mr. Moonraker. Then Wiley Yeoman and Von Trapp and Ihaventalight, Arapaho Prince and New Life Connection. As they swing round into the straight on the first circuit in this Embassy Premier Chase final. The favourite very promising on the inside. Centre, Mr. Moonraker, towards the right as we see them is Our Fun. Just in behind them, Wiley Yeoman as they jump the fifth, and New Life Connection and Von Trapp. Von Trapp just a tiny bit awkward at that one. Then Ihaventalight and Arapaho Prince, and running down towards the fence that'll be the last on the next circuit. Very promising. Over on the far side in the lead from Mr. Moonraker and Wiley Yeoman and Our Fun. Then come Ihaventalight and New Life Connection and Von Trapp, who really hurdles that one very fast. Arapaho Prince just the back marker, and as they come up to the winning post on this circuit. Nearest to us, Mr. Moonraker. On the far side, very promising between horses, Wiley Yeoman, and then comes Our Fun, Ihaventalight and New Life Connection, and then Arapaho Prince and Von Trapp, just the back marker of the 8 runners at the moment as they swing right-handed. Very promising. And Peter Scudamore sticking to the shortest route on the inside from Wiley Yeoman, Mr. Moonraker towards the outer as they run down towards the next. Number 7 of the 16 fences in all. Very promising from Wiley Yeoman and Mr. Moonraker, and then New Life Connection. Then Our Fun, Ihaventalight, Von Trapp on the inside, and then Arapaho Prince. Number 8. After this will be a ditch. Wiley Yeoman right up there joining, very promising. Then Mr. Moonraker, New Life Connection, who's made very good progress on the inside. Von Trapp then, and then Our Fun and Arapaho Prince and Ihaventalight, the 2 in rear. Now the second of the 3 ditches. Wiley Yeoman very promising on the inside. Our Fun right up there with Mr. Moonraker, the New Life Connection, and then Von Trapp. Ihaventalight and Arapaho Prince, the 2 in rear, as they run down to the water this time. Very promising. On the inside. And Von Trapp a faller. Von Trapp has gone there at the water. Looked possibly a little unsighted at the water. Went there. And it's very promising. Von Trapp's up all right, but Richard Dunwoody hasn't risen to his feet yet. Very promising with the lead, but he's up on his feet now. Very promising in the lead. 6 left to jump from Wiley Yeoman. Our Fun, very prominent over on the far side and almost jumps up with the lead there. Very promising on the inside of Wiley Yeoman and Our Fun, and Mr. Moonraker, a very, very close fourth. Ihaventalight is improving. Coming down to the 5th from home. Our Fun landed in the lead there marginally from very promising, little between the 2, and then Mr. Moonraker and then Wiley Yeoman as they race down towards the next. This is the final ditch now, 4 from home. Our Fun lands just in the lead from very promising, and then Mr. Moonraker, very promising, coming right back at Our Fun now as they come down towards the next. Very promising. 3 from home from Our Fun, Mr. Moonraker. Very promising, Our Fun, Mr. Moonraker. Then comes Wiley Yeoman and Ihaventalight, and they're swinging for home now in this 16th running of the Embassy Premier Chase final, and it's very promising on the inside still from Our Fun towards his outer and well within striking distance as they round this turn. Then comes Mr. Moonraker under pressure, coming down to the second last now. Very promising, Our Fun, very promising on the far side. Our Fun on the near side, very little between the 2. Then Mr. Moonraker in 3rd and getting closer too. Ihaventalight is 4th, racing to the final fence now, and Very Promising has suddenly opened up a lead as they come to the final fence. Mr. Moonraker now becomes the challenger. It's Very Promising from Mr. Moonraker at the final fence now. Very Promising looking as though he's only got to jump it, jumps it well. Mr. Moonraker jumps it second, racing into the closing stages. Very Promising from Mr. Moonraker. Mr. Moonraker still challenging, but Very Promising holding him as they race up towards the line. But Mr. Moonraker putting in a desperate challenge, and at the line it's a photo finish. It's a photo between Very Promising and Mr. Moonraker, with Ihaventalight third for our fun. Then Wiley Yeoman and Arapaho Prince, and finally New Life Connection. It's a photo, and a very close photo indeed. Very Promising, of course, the finisher on the far side.